Good morning, sir. I am Prashant, and my topic is pollution due to burning of fossil fuels. So, introduction. Burning fossil fuels is one of the main sources of air pollution. When fossil fuels such as coal, oil, and natural gas are burned, they release a variety of pollutants into the air. These pollutants can have serious consequences for both the environment and human health. So, what are fossil fuels? Fossil fuels are non renewable sources that were formed from the remains of plants and animals that lived millions of years ago. These remains were buried under sediment and rock, and over time, heat and pressure transformed them into fossil fuels. There are three main types of fossil fuels: coal, oil, and natural gas. So, fossil fuels and energy production. The fossil fuels are the primary source of energy. They are used to generate electricity, power vehicles, and heat homes. Coal is a major source of electricity generation, particularly in developing nations, because it is very cheap and abundant compared to others. Oil is the primary source used for transportation and is a key ingredient in gasoline and diesel fuel. However, burning coal produces high levels of carbon dioxide and other pollutants, while the use of oil has significant environmental consequences, including oil spills and the release of greenhouse gases. As a result, there is a growing interest in cleaner energy sources. Types of pollutants. Carbon monoxide. Carbon monoxide or CO is a primary pollutant that is produced when fossil fuels are burned. CO is a colorless, odorless, and tasteless gas. When inhaled, CO reduces the amount of oxygen that the body can absorb, leading to headaches, dizziness, nausea, and even death in extreme cases. It can also have long term effects on health, including cardiovascular and neurological problems. Therefore, reducing CO emissions or carbon monoxide emissions require improving fuel efficiency, using cleaner fuels, and implementing emission control technologies in vehicles and industrial facilities. So, nitrogen oxides NOx are formed when nitrogen in the air reacts with oxygen under high temperatures and pressures, which occurs during the combustion of fossil fuels. They can irritate lungs and contribute to respiratory illness. NOx can also react with other pollutants in atmosphere to form secondary pollutants such as ground level ozone, which can exacerbate respiratory problems and cause the health impacts. NOx can also contribute to acid rain. Sulfur dioxide. Sulfur dioxide or SO2 is a primary pollutant that is produced when sulfur in the fuel reacts with oxygen in the air during the combustion process. It can cause irritation of eyes, nose, throat, and lungs and can exacerbate respiratory problems. SO2 can also contribute to acid rain. Efforts to reduce SO2 emissions include strategies such as using cleaner fuels, the use of natural gas instead of coal, implementing emission control technologies, and using renewable energy sources. Particulate matter. Particulate matter PM is a primary pollutant that is produced when fossil fuels are burned. PM is a complex mixture of tiny solid and liquid particles that can be emitted into air during the combustion of fossil fuels in vehicles, power plants, and other industrial processes. When inhaled, particulate matter can penetrate deep into lungs and even enter the bloodstream, causing a range of health problems such as respiratory and cardiovascular disease, lung cancer, and premature deaths. Ozone O3 is a secondary pollutant that is in the atmosphere through a complex series of chemical reactions involving primary pollutants such as NOx and volatile compounds VOCs. Ozone is a highly reactive gas. Ozone is a highly reactive gas that can irritate the lungs, eyes, and nose and contribute to respiratory illness. In addition to their health impacts, ozone can also have negative impacts on crops and other vegetation, reduce photosynthesis, and impact plant growth. Carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide, CO2. CO2 is produced when fossil fuels are burned and it is most significant greenhouse gas in terms of overall impact on the climate. When released into the atmosphere, CO2 traps heat and warms the planet, contributing to rising temperatures, sea level rise, and other effects of climate change. Additionally, the warming caused by CO2 emissions can also have indirect impacts on human health, such as increased heart related illness and the spread of infectious diseases. So, the possible solutions. The problem can be caused by burning. The problems caused by burning of fossil fuels, such as global warming and air pollution, require a range of solutions that address both individual and systemic factors. Some solutions include reducing energy consumptions. That this can be achieved through a variety of measures, such as increasing energy efficiency in homes, offices, and industries. For example, by using energy efficient appliances, lighting, and insulation, we can significantly reduce our energy consumption and associated greenhouse gas emissions. Transitioning to renewable energy sources. Investing in and expanding the use of renewable energy sources such as solar, wind, and hydroelectric power can help to reduce reliance on fossil fuels and associated greenhouse gas emissions. Implementing policies and regulations. The governments can enact policies and regulations to incentivize and enforce the adoption of cleaner energy sources and transportation, such as carbon pricing, subsidies for renewable energy, and emission standards for vehicles. International cooperation and agreements. The cooperation of nations and the development of international agreements, such as the Paris Agreement, are required for addressing the global nature of issue of climate change and reducing greenhouse gas emissions on a global scale. Carbon capture and storage (CCS). This technology involves capturing carbon dioxide from emissions of fossil fuel power plants, industrial processes, and other sources, and then storing it in geological formations or using it in other appliances. So, in conclusion, the pollution caused by burning fossil fuels is a significant problem that has wide range impacts on human health, the environment, and the global economy. To address this pollution, we need to take comprehensive approach. By taking the steps, we can reduce greenhouse gas emission and improve the health and well-being of our planet and its inhabitants. It is crucial that we take action now to mitigate the negative impacts of burning fossil fuels and work towards a more sustainable future for future generations to come. Thank you.